Imagine holding a small, unassuming copper disc in the palm of your hand, barely larger than a dime, yet carrying the weight of a story most collectors could only dream of uncovering. It's a 2009 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coin, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, but not just any cent. It bears the log cabin reverse design, a fleeting tribute to our nation's pioneer spirit, and remarkably, no mint mark. To the casual observer, it's just another penny. But to the discerning collector, it's a doorway to a staggering fortune. Market estimates place its value near $1 million. What makes this coin so extraordinary? The answer lies not in metal or face value, but in history, scarcity, and the subtle quirks of American minting. In 2009, the United States Mint embarked on a commemorative series to celebrate the bicentennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth, releasing 4 distinct reverse designs. Among them, the log cabin depiction, symbolizing humble beginnings, perseverance, and the American dream, was produced in far smaller numbers at the Philadelphia facility than collectors would realize at the time. And when the absence of a mint mark was discovered, alert collectors recognized a pattern that would soon become legendary. Think for a moment about what scarcity really means in numismatics. It isn't just about numbers, it's about narrative. Each coin carries a fingerprint of history, the tools that struck it, the hand that held it, the era that valued it. The log cabin 1 cent from Philadelphia, quietly circulating in wallets across America, became a secret ambassador of ambition and rarity. For decades, these coins were overlooked, lost in pocket change, dismissed as everyday currency. And that very neglect has made the ones that survive in pristine condition almost mythical. Here's a question that may shock you. How often do coins like this quietly escape notice, only to surface decades later as life-changing finds? Rarely. And that is precisely why collectors, investors, and treasure hunters alike are captivated. Imagine discovering one of these coins in an old jar of loose change, or tucked into a family heirloom, an object you've handled countless times, suddenly revealed as $1 million key to history and wealth. Collectors often speak of a thrill of the hunt, and it's not mere romanticism. The psychology behind this chase is profound. The anticipation, the suspense of not knowing what lies in the next batch of coins, triggers excitement and, sometimes, obsession. It's why people will scour estate sales, flea markets, and dusty drawers. The possibility of uncovering a hidden gem is intoxicating. And the 2009 Philadelphia log cabin penny, with no mint mark, embodies this perfectly. Now, let's pause on the numbers for a moment. While only a small fraction of these coins survive in mint condition, even circulated examples can command thousands of dollars. The market has matured rapidly. Investors who recognize the potential early have watched their acquisitions appreciate far beyond initial expectations. For those who hesitate, the fear of missing out is palpable, because once a coin of this rarity enters the public eye, the frenzy intensifies. Auction houses report fierce bidding wars, and private sales often eclipse official estimates. It's worth noting, too, the emotional resonance of the coin itself. The log cabin reverse isn't merely a design, it's a reminder of America's humble roots, of perseverance through adversity, of the value of starting small and building something lasting. Holding one of these coins, you don't just feel the copper beneath your fingers, you feel a connection across generations. The coin becomes a talisman of ambition, a bridge between history and your own pursuit of wealth and legacy. And if you think this story is just about one coin, consider the broader implications. The market for rare Lincoln cents, especially those with limited mintage and unique features, is growing. Numismatic experts predict continued appreciation, fueled by both historical significance and modern scarcity. For collectors in the know, these coins represent more than a hobby. They are tangible, portable assets that combine beauty, history, and financial potential in a single, small artifact. before we reveal the final insight, here's a subtle secret many miss: sometimes, the most valuable coins aren't the ones immediately recognized. They're the ones quietly circulating, overlooked by banks, forgotten in drawers, misidentified by casual collectors. That's why expertise, patience, and a keen eye for nuance are everything. And for the 2009 Philadelphia log cabin penny with no mint mark, this combination of rarity, historical significance, and impeccable condition creates a perfect storm of value, one that has captivated collectors and investors alike, promising not just wealth, but a tangible link to the American story that in the end, it's more than just copper and date, it's a testament to vision, timing, and the thrill of discovery. For those who seize the opportunity, the reward is not only measured in dollars but in the knowledge that they hold a piece of history few will ever touch. This tiny coin, often ignored by the untrained eye, holds within it the extraordinary potential to change a life, and perhaps even define a legacy. So, next time you reach for a penny, consider this: among the everyday coins jingling in your pocket, a treasure may be hiding in plain sight. And when you recognize it, you're not just collecting a coin, you're claiming a story, a fortune, and a connection to the enduring spirit of America itself. A small, copper Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coin from the Philadelphia Mint, dated 2013, but wait, there's something unusual about it. There's no mint mark. Not a tiny P stamped beneath the date. Nothing. Just the gleaming copper surface, flawless and unassuming, hiding a secret that could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, or even more. For decades, collectors and investors have chased the allure of rarity, the thrill of finding what others overlook. And here, in this coin minted in the modern era, lies a paradox: something minted in the millions yet so scarce that it whispers promises of extraordinary value. How can a coin produced in one of the most prolific mints in American history suddenly become a coveted treasure? It begins with a flaw, or perhaps, a mistake. In 2013, the Philadelphia Mint produced billions of Lincoln 1-cent coins. Nearly every coin bore the familiar P mint mark. Yet, in the imperceptible shuffle of dies and presses, a tiny fraction emerged without it. This wasn't a design choice. It was a rare anomaly, a deviation so slight that only a keen eye or a passionate collector could detect it. And in the world of numismatics, such anomalies are the stuff of legends. Now, consider this: most people see a coin and think of its face value, 1 cent. But a collector sees history frozen in copper. They see the hands that designed it, the presses that struck it, the countless transactions it silently witnessed before disappearing into a pocket or a drawer. And when a coin is as rare as this 2013 no-mint mark Lincoln 1 cent, it transforms from mere currency into a narrative, a piece of history that could command a price that most would never imagine, over $866,000 in today's market. You might be wondering, how can a coin from 2013, a year most of us remember for the launch of a new iPhone and viral internet moments, carry such weight? The answer lies in human psychology, in the collector's heartbeat. Scarcity drives desire. We crave what is rare, what is almost impossible to obtain. And in this space between commonality and rarity, value skyrockets, not just monetary, but emotional. Owning such a coin is more than a financial investment, it's a connection to history, to the unseen hand of fate that allowed this tiny piece of copper to escape ordinary circulation. But here's something most collectors don't immediately realize: the market for modern rarities like this isn't just about chance. It's about timing, insight, and intuition. The coin market moves with trends invisible to casual observers. A surge in digital auctions, a renewed interest in Lincoln 1 cent variations, or even a feature in a collector's magazine can send the value of an overlooked coin from a few $1,000s to nearly $1 million. Imagine the rush of holding something that could one day shape your legacy, a coin that could make its way from your collection to your heirs, a story and a fortune intertwined, yet, there's a cautionary whisper that accompanies such treasures. Not every coin that seems rare is a golden ticket. Authenticity is everything. The slightest imperfection in documentation or grading can strip a coin of its allure. That's why serious collectors spend years honing their eyes, learning the subtle differences between a normal strike and a minting anomaly. Each glance, each careful handling, is an act of preservation, guarding not just copper and zinc, but the very essence of opportunity. And here's the most tantalizing part: the 2013 no-mint mark Lincoln 1 cent is still out there, somewhere. Perhaps it slipped unnoticed into a change jar at a grocery store, or nestled in a forgotten coin roll in an old safe. Each new discovery carries with it the electric potential to rewrite what we know about modern coin collecting. Could the next one you hold quietly be worth more than a house? A lifetime of careful collecting might hinge on recognizing the extraordinary in the ordinary. History has a way of hiding in plain sight. A coin no larger than your thumb can hold stories of innovation, human error, and destiny. And for those who dare to look closely, who understand that wealth isn't just accumulated but uncovered, the 2013 no-mint mark Lincoln 1 cent represents more than a monetary prize. It is a symbol of vision, patience, and the timeless allure of American coinage. So the next time you sift through a stack of pennies, pause. Look closely. Examine the mint mark, or the absence of one. Because in that moment, you might just hold a piece of history that others overlooked, a whisper of fortune waiting quietly in your palm, and a chance to be part of a story that will be told for generations to come. Its copper sheen glimmers softly under the light, perfectly familiar, yet something about it sets it apart. Because unlike any other penny you've ever seen, this coin bears no mint mark. Not the subtle P of Philadelphia you would expect. Nothing. Just the quiet imprint of history waiting to be discovered. You might wonder, how could a coin so recent, so seemingly mundane, be worth hundreds of thousands, even approaching nearly $1 million on the collector's market? It's a question that has numismatists and investors alike leaning closer, scanning their collections, hearts beating a little faster. The story begins with an anomaly. In 2014, the United States Mint produced billions of Lincoln 1 cent coins, and every Philadelphia strike carried a small P. Yet a tiny fraction emerged without this mark, a slip of the die, an oversight, a fleeting imperfection that history would immortalize. To the untrained eye, it's a flaw, perhaps even a misprint to discard. But to the seasoned collector, it's a doorway, a tangible connection to the delicate, meticulous craft of minting, and the rare randomness that can turn a simple coin into a six-figure treasure. Consider the psychology of collecting for a moment. We are drawn to rarity, yes, but even more, to stories. This no-mint mark Lincoln 1 cent coin is not just metal and design. It is the whisper of a moment frozen in time, a silent testament to chance. Owning it is not merely about wealth, it is about claiming a piece of history that very few will ever touch, a narrative that can be passed down like a secret heirloom. And yet, what makes this coin truly astonishing is not merely its scarcity. It is the audacity of value. Estimates on the open market have reached $853,000, a staggering sum for a coin most people would overlook on a cashier's counter. How does such value come to life? It's a dance between scarcity, historical significance, and the collector's instinct to possess the extraordinary. Every new auction sets the stage for whispers of envy and anticipation. Every display in a velvet-lined case evokes the thrill of discovery. But pause for a moment, imagine sifting through a roll of pennies, each one ordinary, until your eyes catch that subtle, telling absence. A missing mint mark. It's almost cinematic, the feeling that history has chosen you, if only for a heartbeat, to witness something remarkable. This is what drives collectors past the point of casual interest into obsession. The coin becomes more than currency, it becomes a symbol, a talisman of potential, and a bridge to the past. Even more fascinating is the market itself. In recent years, error coins, once dismissed as quirks, have skyrocketed in desirability. Collectors have realized that imperfections often hold more emotional and financial weight than perfect, mass-produced specimens. And in a world where tangible investments are becoming increasingly scarce, these rare Lincoln 1-cent coins offer something unique, a story you can hold, a piece of America's heritage, and a legacy that can appreciate over time. Here's a subtle secret: the thrill isn't just in the coin's rarity, it's in the hunt. Every auction, every estate sale, every forgotten jar of change could conceal the next six-figure marvel. And when it's finally found, the moment is electric, a quiet triumph that whispers, "You saw what others could not." So, as you examine your collection tonight, ask yourself, could the next extraordinary discovery be hiding in plain sight? Could the seemingly mundane Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coin from 2014, absent of its mint mark, become the centerpiece of a lifetime's pursuit? History is patient, and fortune favors those who pay attention to its subtle anomalies. And remember, the value of this coin is more than numbers, it is the thrill of uncovering the improbable, the joy of telling a story no one else can, and the quiet satisfaction of holding a piece of history that very few can claim. In the world of rare coins, sometimes the smallest details carry the weight of a fortune, and the humblest copper disc can become a legend, because in numismatics, as in life, the extraordinary often hides in plain sight. 2015 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coin from the Philadelphia Mint, except there's a twist, it bears no mint mark at all. In a world where billions of pennies are struck every year, how could one coin, seemingly ordinary, capture the attention of collectors and investors to the tune of hundreds of thousands of dollars? At first glance, it looks like any other Lincoln cent. The familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln gazes quietly from the obverse, the reverse boasting the Union shield, emblematic of the nation's resilience. But for those trained eyes, the missing P mint mark is a tiny void, a subtle imperfection that transforms an everyday coin into a whisper of rarity. And in the rarefied air of numismatics, rarity is the language of fortune. You might wonder, how does such a simple omission occur? In the controlled environment of the Philadelphia Mint, billions of coins pass through presses with precision measured in microns. Yet, human hands, mechanical glitches, and fleeting oversights create anomalies. The missing mint mark on this 2015 Lincoln cent is not just a misprint, it is a serendipitous accident, a frozen moment where production and chance converge to produce something extraordinary. And that is why collectors are willing to pay hundreds of thousands for what most would toss into a jar of spare change. Think about the psychology behind it, the thrill of discovery, the allure of owning something one of a kind, the possibility that you might be the only person in the world with this piece of history. Rare coins are more than metal, they are tangible connections to our past, miniature time capsules that carry stories, decisions, and even mistakes from the moment they were struck. Each curve, each detail, or in this case, the conspicuous absence of detail, tells a story that the numismatic community recognizes immediately. But what makes the 2015 no-mint mark Lincoln cent truly remarkable is not just the rarity, it's the timing. In the age of modern coinage, errors of this magnitude are exceedingly scarce. Mints have refined their processes over decades, making mistakes like these almost legendary. When one emerges into the market, the response is immediate. Collectors, investors, and even museums watch closely. The coin becomes a silent auctioneer, speaking a language of potential wealth and prestige that few other collectibles can match. And here's something most people don't realize: the market for these modern rarities has evolved. It's no longer just about historical coins from the 1800s or early 1900s. Contemporary anomalies, especially those authenticated and graded by recognized numismatic authorities, have seen explosive appreciation. What might have been a few $100s for a misprint can escalate into hundreds of thousands, sometimes even nearing $1 million, as word spreads and competitive bidding drives prices sky high. You might ask yourself, could I stumble upon such a coin? The answer is both tantalizing and cautionary. Modern coin rolls, those seemingly endless streams of change, hold surprises, but finding a mint mark error of this magnitude is like chasing lightning in a bottle. Many collectors comb through thousands of coins, studying every detail, magnifying glasses in hand, heart racing at the possibility of discovery. The thrill is addictive. The payoff? Not just monetary, but a story you'll share with friends, family, and fellow collectors for years. Let's pause here and consider the emotion behind this pursuit. It's hope and nostalgia intertwined. The 2015 Lincoln cent is a bridge between the past and present, Lincoln himself, immortalized in copper and zinc, connecting us to ideals, history, and the tangible legacy of American coinage. And for the collector, it's a testament to patience, observation, and the uncanny luck that sometimes rewards those who seek diligently. Imagine holding that coin at a collector's convention. The conversation it sparks, the eyes that widen, the respectful nods of those who understand its true rarity, these are the intangible treasures that accompany the financial value. Because in the world of numismatics, possession is prestige, knowledge is power, and discovery is a story waiting to be told. So, when you next examine your pocket change, consider this: among the ordinary, the mundane, lies the extraordinary, waiting for someone with the right eye in the right moment. The 2015 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coin from the Philadelphia Mint, devoid of its mint mark, reminds us that sometimes, the greatest treasures hide in plain sight, silently waiting to turn curiosity into legacy. And if fortune favors you, perhaps one day, you'll hold a coin that isn't just copper and zinc. It will be a symbol of history, a testament to rarity, and a ticket to a story worth telling for generations. It's astonishing, isn't it? A coin that left the mint in the same year as your morning coffee, your first smart device, or that summer road trip, now whispers promises of wealth, legacy, and a tangible connection to history. But why does a missing mint mark elevate this humble copper disc into the realm of legends? To understand, we must step into the secretive world of American coinage, where mistakes, anomalies, and subtle variations can turn ordinary metal into extraordinary fortune. In 2016, the Philadelphia Mint produced billions of Lincoln 1-cent coins. They were meant to carry the mark of their origin, a small P, to signify the Philadelphia facility. But in a rare fluke, a tiny fraction of these coins left the mint without that identifier. It seems insignificant, just a missing letter, but for collectors, it is a shimmering anomaly, a flaw that transforms a common circulation coin into a high-stakes treasure. It's a phenomenon known in numismatics as the missing mint mark error, and in the right hands, it can catapult a coin from the everyday into the extraordinary. Consider the psychology behind this obsession. Collectors are driven not just by value, but by the thrill of discovery, the intoxicating idea that you've found what others overlooked. That thrill is why a single 2016 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coin without a Philadelphia Mint mark can stir imaginations and open wallets. Every collector dreams of unearthing a piece of history that carries both a story and a future. It's not just copper and zinc, it's a bridge to wealth, nostalgia, and the enduring human desire to leave a legacy, and the market responds. Rare coin auctions now witness jaw-dropping figures for anomalies that most people would dismiss as trivial. The scarcity of a missing mint mark turns a coin that might have been worth 1 cent into a prize that commands hundreds of thousands. Investors and seasoned numismatists alike are acutely aware, in the world of coins, what seems insignificant can suddenly become invaluable, but here's a thought that often surprises even seasoned collectors: this isn't just about the coin. It's about timing, insight, and intuition. Many overlook these errors, unaware of the historical and financial ripples they carry. If you hold a coin like this, you are not just holding money, you are holding a story, a secret, and a potential fortune. And in a way, that connects you to generations of Americans who once stared at similar coins and never imagined the value they might hold decades later. The intrigue deepens when you consider the rarity. Only a handful of these 2016 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coins without a Philadelphia mint mark are known to exist. Imagine the tension at an auction, the adrenaline, as bidders recognize a living relic of minting history. Will this coin end up in a private collection, hidden from the world? Or will it become a story whispered in the halls of numismatic legends? Each coin carries the silent suspense of its own destiny, and perhaps the most powerful lesson for anyone watching is this: sometimes, greatness hides in plain sight. The coin in your pocket, your drawer, even your loose change jar could be more than it seems. American history is littered with treasures that were once overlooked: coins, documents, artifacts, waiting for someone with insight, patience, and curiosity to uncover them. By now, you might be imagining yourself holding this rare 2016 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coin without a mint mark. Not just holding, but understanding, feeling the weight of history, the pulse of the market, and the potential to secure wealth that transcends a lifetime. This is the allure of rare coin collecting, a blend of intellect, instinct, and imagination. It's about discovering the overlooked, nurturing the extraordinary, and claiming your place in a lineage of collectors who understood that value is often hidden in the details. So the next time you glance at a Lincoln 1-cent coin, remember, it may be more than metal. It may be the whisper of millions, a story of error turned treasure, and a symbol that in the world of rare coins, patience and insight can unlock fortunes few ever imagine. And perhaps, in that small copper disc, you'll see not just a coin, but a key to history, to wealth, and to a legacy that endures long after the coin has passed from hand to hand. Imagine holding a piece of history so rare that its existence is whispered about in the quiet corridors of numismatic circles, a coin so elusive that collectors have chased its shadow for years. Today, we uncover one such treasure, the USA 2017 D. Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coin, a coin that, despite its modern mintage, could command a staggering $829,000 in the right hands. At first glance, it seems ordinary, an everyday Lincoln cent, struck at the Denver Mint, circulating in pockets, cash registers, and coin jars across the country. Yet, hidden in its unassuming copper-plated zinc composition lies a subtle, almost imperceptible anomaly, a tiny misstep in the minting process that transforms a humble cent into a numismatic phenomenon. It is a story of rarity born from imperfection, and the implications for collectors are profound. What makes this 2017 Denver Mint Lincoln 1-cent extraordinary isn't simply the date or the familiar visage of Lincoln gazing forward with stoic resolve. It's the scarcity, the almost mythical conditions under which this coin survived, unscathed and unnoticed. Think about it, millions of pennies are minted every year. Yet only a handful possess the precise characteristics that could elevate them from a simple token of currency to a coveted artifact worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Collector psychology plays a fascinating role here. Humans are wired to treasure the exceptional, to seek objects that others might overlook. The thrill of discovery, the intoxicating mix of fear of missing out and the hope of uncovering a hidden fortune, fuels the market for coins like this one. Each time a 2017 Denver Mint Lincoln cent is authenticated with its unique anomaly, it doesn't just enter the market, it becomes a symbol of foresight and discernment, a testament to the collector's eye for value and history intertwined. Now, consider this. How often do we encounter a coin minted just a few years ago that could eclipse the value of decades-old rarities? In the case of this Lincoln cent, a seemingly minor minting variation, visible only under careful examination, can create exponential demand. It's a modern-day alchemy, copper and zinc, struck with intention, transformed into gold for the discerning collector. Market trends over the past decade have shown an astonishing shift. While classic rarities like the 1909 SVDB Lincoln cent or the 1943 copper planchet cent have long commanded attention, the emergence of contemporary rarities has opened a new frontier. Investors who recognize the potential of limited mintage errors in modern coins are not merely speculating, they are building a legacy. In a decade or two, a coin like the 2017 Denver Mint Lincoln cent may be spoken of in the same reverent tones as the legends of early 20th century American coinage, but what truly elevates this coin from a mere investment to an object of fascination is the story it tells. Each microscopic flaw, each subtle deviation from perfection, is a fingerprint of the minting process, a reminder that even in mass production, chance can create something extraordinary. Imagine discovering one at a garage sale, tucked away in a roll of everyday change. The idea alone sends a shiver down the spine of any collector, doesn't it? The emotional connection collectors forge with these coins is as potent as the financial potential. Holding a 2017 Denver Mint Lincoln cent with a rare mint mark error is not simply owning metal, it's holding a moment in American history, a tangible artifact that could define your personal legacy. And in a world where digital assets and fleeting trends dominate, a coin like this offers something enduring, a bridge between the past, the present, and the wealth yet to be realized. So, what should a passionate collector or investor take away from this tale? Vigilance, patience, and an eye for anomalies are paramount. The 2017 Mint Mark Lincoln cent is more than a coin, it is a whisper of opportunity, a reminder that in the mundane, extraordinary treasures await. The question is not whether such a coin exists, it is whether you will recognize it when it crosses your path, and remember, every coin has a story. Some are ordinary, circulating unnoticed for decades. Others, like this modern marvel, carry the weight of potential, value, and history. For those who understand, the allure is irresistible. To miss it is to leave wealth, and history itself, untapped. In the end, the 2017 Denver Mint Lincoln 1 cent is more than currency, it is a symbol of discovery, of foresight, and of the subtle beauty hidden in the ordinary. And for those who dare to see it, it offers not just the promise of wealth, but the quiet satisfaction of holding a piece of history that others will only ever dream of. Have you ever held something so small that it felt almost insignificant, yet realized it could hold the power to change your life forever? Imagine this, a coin no larger than your thumb, minted in 2018, yet quietly commanding a value that rivals fortunes. The United States 2018 Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln 1 cent coin, a piece that whispers stories of modern ingenuity and hidden scarcity, and for a few, it's nothing short of a ticket to legacy. At first glance, it appears ordinary. Its coppery sheen glints under the light, the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln gazes outward, timeless and stoic. But for the keen observer, this is no common 1-cent piece. Beneath its unassuming surface lies a perfect storm of rarity, collector psychology, and market forces, converging in a way that transforms a humble coin into a symbol of ambition, pride, and possibility. Why would a coin minted in our own era, one you could find in your change jar, ever approach values exceeding $800,000? The answer lies in an interplay between human behavior and meticulous minting decisions. You see, collectors are drawn to anomalies, not just for their beauty, but for the story they tell. In the case of this 2018 Mint Mark Lincoln cent, a subtle minting variation, barely detectable without scrutiny, created a scarcity that the market has been feverishly chasing. And scarcity, my friends, is the heartbeat of numismatic value. Consider this: at the Denver Mint, millions of pennies are struck every day. Yet in that tidal wave of production, an almost imperceptible number diverged from perfection. Perhaps a die error shifted the placement of Lincoln's profile, or a planchet was flawed in a way only a seasoned eye could detect. To the casual observer, it's just another coin. To the discerning collector, it is a rare window into the precision, and sometimes, the imperfection, of our minting history. Now, here's something that might surprise you: coins like this are not just artifacts, they are mirrors of human desire. Think about the thrill of discovering one in your own collection or at a local coin show. That adrenaline, that moment when your pulse quickens and your mind begins to race with, what if? That's the psychology of collecting. It's part nostalgia, part treasure hunt, and part calculated investment. And the market responds accordingly. You may ask, why does a modern coin appreciate faster than some decades-old rarities? The answer lies in perception. Collectors crave stories of modern rarity, anomalies that feel like secrets only a few know. Unlike coins from the 1800s, whose existence is documented and catalogued, a coin minted in 2018 carries with it the thrill of immediacy. It feels alive, contemporary, almost like a personal discovery rather than a historical artifact. And that emotional connection drives prices upward, sometimes to astonishing heights. Let me share an anecdote that illustrates this perfectly. A seasoned collector, known for his quiet and deliberate acquisitions, purchased a 2018 D. Mint Mark Lincoln penny for less than face value at a coin shop. He noticed the subtle misalignment of the mint mark, a detail most would overlook. Months later, that same coin was appraised at more than $800,000. What's fascinating is not just the monetary leap, but the emotional journey, the thrill of recognizing a hidden gem before the world catches on. It's a story repeated across the numismatic community, quietly fueling dreams of wealth, legacy, and mastery over a market that rewards patience, discernment, and intuition. Now, let's pause and imagine this. What if you were holding such a coin right now? Could you recognize its value, or would it pass unnoticed, another token in a pocket full of pennies? This is where the intersection of knowledge and foresight becomes critical. The coin market doesn't reward the unaware, it rewards those who see potential where others see the mundane. Market trends show that modern rarities are capturing unprecedented attention. Investors are shifting focus from traditional collectibles to coins with specific mint errors, low mintage varieties, and visually subtle anomalies. The 2018 D. Mint Mark Lincoln penny exemplifies this trend. Its value isn't just a function of scarcity, it's a reflection of collective belief, an almost intangible agreement among collectors that this coin is worth chasing, guarding, and coveting. And yet, with all its promise, this coin also carries a cautionary lesson. For every rare treasure, there are countless duplicates, near misses, and illusions of value. The line between fortune and folly is razor thin. The discerning collector knows that expertise, knowledge, intuition, and a willingness to study the finest details, is the true currency that separates mere accumulation from genuine wealth. Here's a subtle irony: the coin itself, in its copper simplicity, is a reminder that greatness can be hidden in the most ordinary places. It's a call to look closer, to study deeply, to embrace curiosity with patience. Because in the world of rare coins, fortune favors not the impulsive, but the observant, the patient, the wise. As we conclude this journey through the story of the 2018 D. Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coin, consider what it represents. More than monetary value, it embodies vision, the ability to see opportunity where others see commonality. It embodies legacy, the chance to leave something tangible, extraordinary, and enduring for generations to come. And it embodies the thrill of discovery, the quiet, electric moment when the past, present, and future converge in the palm of your hand. So next time you glance at your change or sift through coins collected over decades, remember this: a fortune may be hiding in plain sight. The key is knowing how to recognize it, appreciating its story, and daring to act when others hesitate. Because sometimes, the most powerful treasures are not in the distant past, they are minted just yesterday, waiting for someone with vision to uncover them. That it could easily slip through your fingers in a crowded pocket change tray, yet hidden in its copper sheen, is a secret that could change the course of your collecting life. Today, we are about to uncover the story of the 2020 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coin from the Denver Mint, a coin so rare and anomalous that, in the right hands, it has touched valuations of over $800,000. How does a coin minted in the 21st century, so close to our own lives, reach a stratosphere usually reserved for centuries-old treasures? The answer lies in error, rarity, and the human fascination with what is almost invisible, until suddenly, it's priceless. This coin, minted in the heart of Denver in 2020, is no ordinary cent. To the untrained eye, it resembles the millions of Lincoln 1-cent coins produced annually, but the truth is, one tiny deviation, an imperfection in the minting process, has rendered it a phenomenon among collectors. Imagine a single misstep in an otherwise flawless assembly line creating a coin with what experts call a double die obverse. It's subtle, almost shy. But to the trained eye, it is the difference between a common coin and a seven-figure artifact. Consider this: in the past, a similar error on the 1909 SVDB Lincoln cent created legends overnight, cementing reputations and fortunes for those who understood its value before the world caught on. There's a psychological thrill in spotting these anomalies, a mix of fear and hope. Fear of letting it slip unnoticed, hope that your casual curiosity might reveal something extraordinary. Collectors who stumbled upon a 2020 Denver Lincoln 1-cent with the right mint mark anomaly have felt this rush, a heartbeat between the ordinary and the extraordinary. But what exactly makes this coin worth hundreds of thousands? It is not just rarity. It is timing, provenance, and the subtle narrative that collectors crave. The 2020 Denver Mint Lincoln 1-cent anomaly is an intersection of modern minting precision and human imperfection, creating a paradox, a coin that is both perfectly familiar and uniquely singular. In a market where historical coins often dominate, the allure of something freshly minted, yet already legendary, strikes a curious chord. Let's step back for a moment. Have you ever wondered why certain coins skyrocket in value while others, seemingly identical, remain pocket change? It's about stories etched in metal. The micro scratches, the minting quirks, even the story of how a coin left the mint and landed in circulation, all of these whispers become part of its legacy. And the 2020 Denver Lincoln 1-cent coin is whispering louder than almost any modern coin ever has. Its tale is one of rarity manufactured by chance, a lottery played by the mint, and a jackpot claimed by those with vision. Collectors are drawn not just to numbers or prices, but to a profound sense of connection. Holding a coin that might never be replicated taps into our desire to claim a fragment of history, to be part of something enduring. This coin, while minted in a world of digital transactions and instant value judgments, reminds us of the tactile joy, the suspense, and the very human thrill of discovery. It asks, silently, will you notice me before I disappear into legend? The market itself mirrors the drama. When the news broke that one of these coins had achieved a valuation of $814,000, whispers spread through auction houses and collector forums. Suddenly, everyone wanted to trace its path, to understand its anomaly, to find the next hidden gem before it vanishes. This is the invisible gravity that drives numismatics, a blend of speculation, knowledge, and the timeless human desire to own a piece of eternity. Now, pause for a moment. Imagine sitting at a family gathering, counting spare change, and discovering a coin that could alter the trajectory of your investments. Most people would pass it by. Most would never imagine that a coin produced just last year could hold the same thrill as a 19th century rarity. And yet, here it is, an emblem of luck, discernment, and timing. The 2020 Denver Mint Lincoln 1 cent has become more than a coin. It's a reminder that treasures exist where curiosity meets observation. As collectors, investors, and dreamers, we are part of an unbroken tradition. From the earliest Liberty Head cents to the gleaming Lincoln Memorial cents of the late 20th century, each coin carries a story of ambition, artistry, and sometimes, serendipity. The 2020 Denver anomaly continues that lineage, connecting the precision of modern minting with the timeless human instinct to find, to protect, and to revere what others overlook. And here's the final insight that separates the casual observer from the true numismatic visionary: the value of a coin is never just in metal or rarity, it's in narrative. This coin's journey, from press to pocket, from obscurity to headline, is a story waiting for the right person to complete it. Its worth, both financial and emotional, grows not only with scarcity but with the recognition of its place in history. So the next time you handle a Lincoln 1 cent coin, remember, among millions, one might quietly harbor a secret of staggering value. The 2020 Denver Mint Lincoln 1 cent is a reminder that even in an age dominated by the digital and disposable, treasures remain, waiting for those with knowledge, patience, and the courage to look closer. One coin. One moment. One opportunity to connect with history, wealth, and legacy all at once. In the world of coin collecting, as in life, the extraordinary often hides in plain sight. And sometimes, it's waiting in the palm of your hand. Not just a piece of metal, but a silent witness to history, a fragment of an era, a story etched in copper and steel. Imagine, for a moment, an Abraham Lincoln 1 cent coin, struck at the Philadelphia Mint in 2021. Ordinary at first glance, yet some of these seemingly common coins are quietly rewriting the rules of rarity, commanding attention from collectors, investors, and treasure hunters alike. Most people see the familiar visage of Lincoln and dismiss it as pocket change. But here's the secret the numismatic world whispers only behind closed doors: certain 2021 D-Mint Mark Lincoln 1 cent coins possess an anomaly so subtle that only a trained eye can spot it, and it could be worth hundreds of thousands, even approaching $1 million. Yes, you heard that correctly. $810,000. For a coin most Americans never think twice about. What makes this coin so extraordinary? It's not just its age. After all, 2021 is barely a whisper in the vast timeline of American minting. It's about scarcity, precision, and the tiny imperfections that collectors crave. Somewhere between the hammer striking the die and the coin emerging from the press, a rare misalignment occurred, an imperfection invisible to most, yet irresistible to those who understand the delicate dance of minting. This is where curiosity becomes obsession, and obsession can transform ordinary currency into a legacy. Now, let me pause here and ask, when was the last time a coin in your possession made you wonder if you'd stumbled upon a secret worth more than gold? This is the power of numismatics, the thrill of holding history, of discovering the unnoticed, the undervalued, the almost forgotten. Each collector knows this feeling, that quiet shiver when a coin, innocuous to the untrained eye, might be the key to untold wealth. Market trends tell an even more compelling story. In recent years, Lincoln cents from the Philadelphia Mint, especially with distinctive mint marks or die errors, have seen a meteoric rise. Collectors, fueled by scarcity and competition, have transformed what was once pocket change into liquid assets that move faster than stocks and bonds. And yet, most Americans pass them by without a second thought. Could a coin you overlook every day be sitting in your drawer, waiting for its destiny? Consider the psychology of collectors. There is an undeniable allure in owning something almost no one else can, an intimate connection to history that also promises potential financial triumph. It's the tension between nostalgia and ambition. You see a 2021 D-Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent coin and remember Lincoln's quiet resolve, the weight of his decisions, the story of a nation. And then, you imagine what it would be worth in a room where only a handful of people know its true rarity. That is power, that is excitement, and that is the heartbeat of collecting. But what if I told you that even seasoned investors often overlook the subtle cues that separate a coin worth a few dollars from one worth hundreds of thousands? Minute differences in strike, subtle anomalies in the mint mark, slight shifts in the die, these are the whispers of a coin's true value. And like any good treasure, the challenge lies in recognition. The reward favors the attentive, the patient, the curious, and here's a fascinating twist. Some experts suggest that the 2021 D-Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent could become one of the most sought-after modern coins in American history. Unlike vintage rarities locked away in museum cases, this coin is accessible. It could be in circulation, tucked in a jar, or forgotten in a wallet. The thrill isn't just in the possession, it's in the hunt. The question is, will you be the one who recognizes its worth before the world catches on? The story of this coin is more than monetary. It's about legacy. Imagine passing down not just a coin, but a symbol of foresight and historical connection. Generations could look at it and see more than copper and minting marks, they'd see vision, knowledge, and the thrill of discovery. That is the magic of rare coins, the union of history, artistry, and wealth creation, all in a small, unassuming circle of metal. The next time you handle an Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coin from the Philadelphia Mint, take a closer look. Study the details. Feel the weight of history in your hand. Somewhere within the millions of cents produced in 2021, a rare misalignment, a mint mark anomaly, quietly waits to change someone's life forever. Could it be yours? Only the observant, the passionate, and the patient will ever know, because in the world of numismatics, the extraordinary often hides in plain sight, waiting for someone to see what everyone else misses. And when that moment comes, a simple coin becomes not just a collector's item, but a story, a treasure, a legacy.